speaking, you should really try this. That's what the new Bulls racing car sounds like, by the way. I recorded it earlier. Welcome to our Enclave. We are a location of delight. We have a 1.7-mile permanent tailgate racetrack performance circuit. And we have a garage community where people bring their car passion together and do activities together. And we have this event center that was graciously donated by our CEO, Brad Olashansky. Thank you to him. And in this space, we have done weddings, we've done corporate meetings, we've done corporate parties. We converted this into what looked like a speakeasy hotel with pet and drink everywhere. It took 4 days to set up. Great party. We've even done Pinewood Derby. Those of you who know what Pinewood Derby is. We had a big Pinewood Derby competition here just a couple weeks ago. Anyhow, we do love to like. I'm here to talk to you just for one more minute, because I know you don't really want to hear from me, but I had a Formula SA experience myself 24 years ago. I didn't get a chance to sign in as an engineering student, but I volunteered my time when I was already in the motorsports world as a professional driver. And there's another school in Florida that I was sucked into, and I ended up coaching and training, and then they asked me, hey, would you do some testing with us? And I said, okay, sure. And the testing was 4 days before the trip to competition, and the car was still not ready. Sound familiar, anybody? And sometimes it happens that way, and so I spent 4 nights in the shop, sleeping in the bed of a truck, and they would shake me awake. Trevor, we're gonna go test. And it's 4 in the morning. Okay, sure. So we go test it. And I drew a couple laps to stop, and the car catches on fire. And they squirt it out with a fire extinguisher. It just goes into your nose and burns. And I'm like, what happened? I said, oh, it's nothing. It's just oil dripping out of the valve cover gasket right onto the exhaust pipe. That's not okay. Yeah, let's go again. So I go again. 3 laps later, come in, another fire. They put it out. What did you think of the car? It catches fire. No, the balance. We did this like 9 or 10 times. Drive, put out the fire, feedback from Gerardo. Drive, put out the fire, feedback from Gerardo. I love Formula SAE. It's the greatest thing to propel these students to unbelievable heights in their careers, whether it's in automotive or anywhere else. So I have no doubt that they're going to be going places like Nia Hernandez, who is now also an employee here at the Motor Enclave. Nia.
Hello, everyone. It's so nice to see all of you guys here. As some of you guys know, last year I was the Braves design lead. So I was on the team for about 2 years after I got an offer here at the Motor Enclave. So right now I am in charge of client services. I run the Motorsports Club over here, which I love doing. And then on top of that, I am also a motorsports technician. So Bulls Racing really opened the way for me. I got so many experiences and so many great memories because of this beautiful team. And I just wanted to say that I'm so proud of you guys. Through all the adversity that you guys stood this entire year, I mean, it was just insane seeing you guys rise through everything. And you guys are going to be able to hear your story, design lead from design lead, and just see how this year went. So yeah, I'm so excited to have you guys here. I'm so happy to be able to provide this beautiful space. And yeah, it's time for a beautiful event. So we're actually going to have a message from President Real Law showing now.
Hello, Bulls Racing. Many of you know how much I love to go racing, even since I raced motocross bikes back in the 1970s. So you know how much back in the 1970s. I congratulate all of you on what you've accomplished. I've been to the grand reveal several times, and it's a wonderful celebration of the amazing race car that you have built. But it's more than that. It's a celebration of your dedication, of your technical skills, and of transforming what you have learned in the classroom into practical innovation. As impressive as the F-25 is, I always appreciated the nuts and bolts of creating a race car. I know from personal experience that building one from the ground up is no small feat. It takes exceptional skills in designing, building, and fine-tuning a machine that embodies speed, precision, and performance. It took all of you to reach this special day. You have honed your problem-solving abilities by working together as a team, and you have boldly pushed the boundaries of what's possible. This experience will serve you well throughout your careers. Designing and building your own Formula race car was only half the fun. Now you get to take it into competition against more than 100 other college teams next month at the Michigan International Speedway. We'll be cheering you on from afar, but remember, no matter how you finish, you already are winners. Be proud of what you've accomplished. The knowledge, experience, and camaraderie that you have gained are rewards that will stay with you for a lifetime. Good luck in Michigan, and as always, go Bulls!
Lee Miller III.
Howdy, y'all. Is this thing on? Yeah, okay. Cool. My name's Lee Miller III, and I got the mighty fine honor of being president of Bulls Racing for the 2024-2025 season. Now, if you ask anyone on this team at my office, they'll probably tell you, oh, Alan, he's just the guy that sends all the emails. And you know what? They're right. All jokes aside, my real role is being the middleman between the University of South Florida and Bulls Racing. I could probably spend the next 5 minutes up here reading all those emails if you want me to, but I figured you'd rather not fall asleep just yet. I'm going to tell you a story instead. You see, I've had weeks to put together a fancy speech, but in classic Alan fashion, I found myself sitting in the bed of my Ford Ranger at 3 a.m. this morning, staring at a blank paper, wondering how on earth I'm going to fill in a whole 5 minutes. Sitting outside the Bulls Racing shop reflecting on what a chaotic day, week, month, heck, what a chaotic year it's been. I found myself staring at the very parking spot I pulled into back on September 3rd, 2022. Yep, freshman Alan, or Little Al as some folks might call him, shaking in his boots. Scared to even open the shop door because he arrived way too early for his first meeting. I started on the suspension team because, well, that seemed appropriate given my background. Before long, they stopped the title on me, and I was named junior engineer. Boy, I thought I had just peaked. Then came along Connor Capper, our marketing director at the time. Given my interest in marketing, I thought, well, shoot, coloring books and sending emails sounds like a heck of a lot easier than calculus. So I joined the marketing team, and wouldn't you know, I fell in love. Sitting bored one evening in calculus class, my professor paused, looked up from her notes. This is why I don't use more than iPad. So I joined the marketing team, and wouldn't you know, I fell in love. Sitting bored one evening in calculus class, my professor paused, looked up from her notes, and said, do something that makes yourself happy. And let me tell you, those words hit me harder than a fresh set of tires on a hot asphalt track. So without telling a soul, I swapped my major in marketing and moved to college business, officially majoring in coloring books and emails. Shortly after, y'all elected me as vice president. Not to toot my own horn, but I reckon I did all right. When our president graduated, they leaving the spot wide open. I saw nothing but an opportunity for growth. Somehow these fine boys and girls sitting to the right trusted me enough, or maybe they just started me yapping, and voted me for president. I'll be honest with you, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. We faced more struggles this year than a bull at a bull ride at a rodeo. You'll hear all about them soon from our executive board design bids. There were countless times when the stress of the government is full-time, unpaid, part-time gig, homework, exams, and me questioning why I kept at it. There were nights I was ready to pack up and ride off into the sunset. But then I remember the wise words of my old man, Rocky Al Miller, or as my teammates affectionately call him, Big Al and Mr. DMR. Growing up, he told me a few things that stuck like mud in my boots. One of those things was simple. Never give up. I figured there's no way I was going to look my folks in the eye and tell them I couldn't hack it. So I pulled myself together and I made shit happen. It reminds me of this Luke Combs song, Doing This. For those who ain't country fans yet, give it time, they'll be there. But the song wonders what the heck he'd be doing if he wasn't singing country music. It got me thinking, what would Alan Miller be doing if he wasn't here managing the coolest student organization on this side of Florida? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe something less stressful like professional map taking or competitive like email sending? I don't know, there are two or more, man. But one thing's for sure, I wouldn't trade this entire experience for the entire world. Now you're thinking, why is this goofy looking fella or a cowboy hat up here talking about himself? The truth is I'm not. I'm talking about every single one of those team members sitting over there to my right. They may not have switched their majors to career in college like I did, but I've watched every one of them grow to be a better man and woman. Sure, we might have to cut our chassis in half or take forever to get the brake lines to get ordered, but through all the chaos, these folks made stuff happen. They walk up to those trailers every day, working their tails off, learn something new with every turn of the wrench. I want y'all to understand something before you hear from these amazing people. Bulls Racing ain't just a silly little club. It's an organization full of hardworking, smart, dedicated folks who design and build real race cars, not go-karts. Before I wrap this up and thank those who support me every day, I want y'all to remember this. Every person or standing over there once walked into the shop thinking they knew it all. I sure as I didn't. Instead, myself and them, they all stuck around. They grew, they learned, they built something incredible that you're going to see here in a minute. Now I gotta give some thanks to those who support me and this amazing team pretty much every day. First up has got to be BMR suspension and my father's BMR. For 3 years now, BMR has stood by Bulls Racing. They've cut us checks, machined parts, even manufactured components for us. This year with our shop closure that we're about later, I'm sure, BMR welcomed us with open arms. And let me tell you, there ain't any other place I'd rather spend my Friday night. That's a little sarcastic. So thank you, Dad, and all the amazing BMR folks who came out today. Without BMR, there's no way this car would be here today. Next up, a huge thank you to Mrs. BMR, my mom. Thanks for always keeping me focused on my studies and letting me vent when things get tough. And, of course, occasionally, handling my laundry. Everyone needs to eat this. It's not true, but... Next up, big thanks to my roommates Ray and Matthew, our chief engineer and team captain, who keep me up way too late talking about future plans for the team. They put in more work for this team than I do, just to keep it rolling every day. Lastly, a special thanks goes out to Bart Enclave for hosting us today. I've attended plenty of events here, and it's always been a dream of mine to stand on the stage and unveil a car, and here we are today. Did I miss anyone? Oh, yeah, you folks, all of y'all. Thank you for being here today, y'all. Our Bulls Racing supporters, friends, family, alumni, sponsors, faculty members, y'all are the real reason we're here today. So here's to the engineers, the designers, and yes, even the email senders like myself. Here's the Bulls Racing, the finest student organization at USF. Now let's unveil this car and show everyone what we've been cooking up. Without further ado, I want to introduce our Vice President, Grant Stein. Thanks, all.
Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? I'm so happy you guys are here. The turnout has been amazing. I'm very happy that you guys are here, and I'm very thankful for the Motor On for hosting us. As Alan said, this venue is amazing, and we're so thankful to be here. As VP, my role was mainly new member recruiting. I dealt with seeing people who were freshmen in engineering or people who are freshmen just new to college. And I was in charge of making them feel welcome. I also helped with other needs, like helping Alan with any other paperwork that he done. private meeting that starts when the class starts. And I get there, and this was my first taste of the hard work and dedication of this team. Because when I opened the door, there were at least 10 people either in the office or in the shop working. And I didn't know anyone, so I just walked in, and someone walked over, introduced me. Even though they were busy doing stuff, they stopped and they showed me around. They showed me around the shop and showed me what they did. And then the question was asked, "What's your major?" And when I was asked this question, I thought I was going to turn away because my answer was that I'm a finance major, which you wouldn't think would be part of an SAT team. But instead of them turning me away and saying there's nothing I can do on the team, they said, "Hey, that's okay. What do you want to do? You don't need to have any experience. You can join the team, and there's maybe everything you can learn." And from that, I felt accepted. I felt invited. And even though I am not the same major as 95% of the people on this team, I still felt like I was one of them. Another thing that I really remember, and this is something that I think back to all the time, was I remember it was near the end of the year, and the then president, Connor, and what was VP, Alan, they pulled me aside and they said, "Hey, we want to talk to you about your plans for next year." And the first thing I thought of was, "Oh no, I'm not doing enough. I got to do more. They're thinking I'm just sitting there doing nothing." But as it turns out, they pulled me aside and told me that, "Hey, we strongly recommend that you run for VP next year." This is something I never expected, and when I heard that they wanted me to run, I was very excited. I was very happy for the opportunity to use my skill set that I have to help the team. And so I became VP. And as my role in VP, I wanted people to feel as welcome and introduced as I did when I first joined. And I think I did a decent job at that. Even with people who aren't engineering majors, they still felt welcome. And it's great being able to see how many people have joined this team, even though when I thought about introducing people to the team, I was having to tell them, "Hey, so we work on this car, but right now we're working on this car in a parking lot under tents next to a trailer, or if we get lucky, we can go 30 minutes drive and go work in a shop." But it turned some people away, but most people stayed. And the people that stayed, I knew had the determination and perseverance to be on this team. And I see that every day with this team. There is not one day that goes by where there's not someone who's dedicating an entire afternoon just to get something done with this team. There has been many, many weekends where your sleep schedule would be waking up on Saturday, waking up on Friday, working Friday night, and then working Saturday night, and you don't maybe get some sleep in the afternoon, but most likely you'll probably get sleep Sunday night with a nap or two in between. For people on this team, 3 hours is sleeping in 2 extra hours. They are constantly working hard to build this car, and sometimes it can lead to a few issues. We had a few crash outs here and there, but at the end of the day, you get what we need done, and I'm so excited for you guys to see this car and see the hard work and dedication that's been put into this car. Thank you. And then next up is Giovanni, our marketing director.
Hello, everyone. Like Grant said, my name is Joanna Roque Vasquez. I am the marketing director for Bulls Racing. I joined the team fall 2023, and I never looked back. When I think of, or when people think of Bulls Racing, they think engineering team. Yes, you are correct, but it's not just a team full of engineers. Bulls Racing has grown tremendously to something even bigger. It's a team that welcomes students from all majors, including myself, a communications major. When I first thought about joining, I was very hesitant. I don't have much experience, but what I do have is passion. And I'm passionate about this team and everything that they're capable of achieving. As marketing director, I manage sponsor relationships, external communications, acquisition, renewals, outreach events. This has been one of the most rewarding roles that I've ever had. I enjoy representing this team, whether it's through an email, talking to people. I really believe in connecting them to whatever it is that they need in order to succeed. While this season, like you've heard before, hasn't been easy, we have faced many challenges, but because of these challenges and the support that we've had from alumni and the foundation that they have built, we were able to focus, and specifically in the marketing department, that strengthening tie to sponsors, and this worked. This year, we've been able to add 34 new sponsors to the roster, which brings our total to 60 sponsors overall. We are very proud of this accomplishment. This shows that others believe in us and see the value of what we do. To our sponsors who are here today, and those watching online, thank you, thank you, thank you. Whether you donated material, shared advice, opened doors for us, or financially supported us in our goals, you are the reason F25 exists. This card represents us all, and every bit of the support that you've given us has paid that way. I also want to thank my family. They couldn't make it here today, but I know they're cheering me on. They always do. They're the reason that I work hard, and the reason that I'm proud to be who I am. Finally, to my past and my current teammates, I have seen how hard you have worked, the sacrifices that each and one of you have made, and the heart that you guys pour into this team. I'll definitely miss Bulls Racing when I graduate, but more than I can even put into words, I want to say that I'll carry the memories and the lessons that I've learned along the way, and I'll be cheering you guys on in everything that you do. Thank you very much, and as always, go Bulls. So now I'm going to hand over the mic to our team captain, Matthew Okashta.
Thank you, Giovanna, and thank you for all the money that you print for this team. I should probably start by explaining what my role is. This is a question I get a lot. Almost everyone on the team asks me, Matthew, what is it that the team captain does? And quite honestly, at the beginning of this year, I had no real clue. However, working with a wonderful chief engineer, Ray, what we ended up working out is I'm mainly in charge of the more high-level, they call systems engineering, so I kind of glue all the people's ideas together, make sure they stick well, and I'm in charge of that kind of integration. So I make sure one person's not trying to do their own thing, and then another person's like going to do my own thing, and then they're in conflict with each other. So in a nutshell, that's what I handle. Now for the speech. I'd like to start by talking to the team. I want all of you to take a brief moment to look to your left and to your right, in addition to that, to the team as a whole. Soak it in, because this season will be the last season that you get to work with this exact team. I know it's something that I took for granted, but next year, it will not be the same. And I know that a lot of us will be rolling over next year, or even losing those wonderful people, it hurts. And that's something that a veteran member is going to attest to, including myself. I think back to when I first started this team my freshman year, to the people I looked up to, from Ads and Tatum, to Eamon and Devin, Vince's, Nathan, and so many more from the 23-24 season, I miss working with them dearly. It's something I took for granted, and I wish I took the time to enjoy more in the moment. Even to Alan, Ray, and Dante, all the people who I remember meeting my freshman year working alongside them, it's different working with them now. Perhaps it's because we no longer naively believe that SAE is nothing but fun 24/7. Every year, I always learn a big lesson. In 23, I learned how to use a ratcheting wrench. I'm a comp sci major, so I've never touched a tool in my life till that point. I also learned not to respond to people asking me why. I'm looking at you, Omar. In 24, I learned that I can't compel others, and that to work well with this team, I have to work uniquely with each individual to solve system integration challenges and close projects. However, this year, I learned something different. I didn't learn a skill, I learned a new feeling: hardship. Hardship has defined this season. From the beginning of the season, when I thought that the team was going to fold and that we were about to lose decades of legacy and history, to later in the season having to work out of the trailer in the hot sun or torrential rain, whichever that the Florida weather chooses, I think everyone in this team can agree that we faced a lot of hardship. However, hardship did not define this team. Perseverance did. This team is proof of change. And I don't mean change as in like, oh, we're going to do better next year. I mean actual, tangible change. The team has a new culture. Not just one of perseverance, but also of rigor. It excites me so deeply to overhear your guys' conversations, all the way from the small things of like, oh, it'd be so cool to put this little thing on the car next year, wouldn't that be cool? To even the more heartfelt conversations discussing how we can fix some project management issues that cause a lot of heartache to people unnecessarily. It means the world to me that all of you guys care so deeply about what it is that we do. And of course, I'm excited to see how we do a competition this year, but frankly, I'm more excited to see how we do next year and every season after that. Going from the youngest team in recent history to next year having a year-served, battle-hardened team, I know that each and every one of you is going to do exemplary things and push this team to new heights. We aren't just surviving anymore, we're building a legacy. I'm really excited to see this team next year push from building the laying foundations of proper engineering that Ray has worked so hard to set, to solving the unique system engineering challenges of race engineering for the Formula SAE competition. It really excites me. I know you guys, you see me here out all the time. I talk way too much about, oh, this, that in the future. But that's why I find personally very exciting for this team. I know that most of y'all don't really get that talk, and that's what I love about this team. But no matter what happens in competition this coming year, you've already won in my hearts. From when I first joined this team as a freshman, this club wasn't just about getting someplace in that competition. It was about building great engineers out of seemingly regular students. It's more than just about building a machine. It's about the testament that this car is to how this team can endure, overcome, and achieve. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for everything that you've done for this team this season. Up next, I'd like to introduce our Chief Engineer, Ray Burge. For those who don't know, Team Captain and Chief Engineer are essentially conjoined at hip throughout the season. So like a marriage, there can be a lot of tension. However, I could not ask for a better Chief Engineer to run with. Someone so like-minded and hardworking as me. It has been a wonderful season. So from your infinite engineering wisdom to the amount of sacrifice that you put into this season, thank you, Ray. And I think I mean that for me, and I know everyone on the team means that too. So welcome Chief Engineer Ray.
Thank you, Matt. Good afternoon, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ray Burge, and I've had the honor of serving as the team engineer on the Bulls racing team this season. So before I get started, I just want to go ahead and thank the friends, family, and our sponsors that have helped set up this event today. Specifically, Kate Hudson, you guys said are working extremely hard to set all this up in time for us. I also want to thank the alumni, your mentors, helped carry the torch when times got tough. Because let me tell you, this season wasn't just another chapter in our story. It was definitely one for the history books. It was a season of firsts. The first season, we launched a brand new design process, actually following a proper design process used in the industry. The first time we stayed ahead or exceeded our deadlines. That was a first, it was pretty cool. And then also the first time, probably the most thing that I'm proud of, we racked up over 160 miles of testing on the car. That's not including the dyno, and that is before the competition. We still got way more to go. And then we also had the first time that we not only had one, but two fully operational cars. You can see F-24 on display over there, and then you can see F-25 shortly. And then the first time, and probably the most defining, we built a car without a shop. No fabrication bed, no machinery, and no home base. And yet, here we are. To really understand how that felt or how wild that is, you have to go back to last summer. We started the year off like we always do. Matt and I planning the deadline, setting the team goals, building a roadmap for the team on how the season would go. Then, out of nowhere, something we never thought could happen happened. Our shop closed. Bulls Racing no longer had a workspace. It raised a lot of hard questions that a lot of us on keyboard never thought we had to ask. Could we even have a part this season? Could we even build one with no equipment? Or was this the end of Bulls Racing as we kind of knew it? And it wasn't just one hurdle. It was a new fire drill every week. 1 week, we almost lost out our university funding because we didn't have an actual workspace to work at. The week after, we were told that we had to pack up our trailers and go work in the grass lot with no power or any stable service or lights. We tried to shield the team from it, but then eventually it became impossible. And then eventually we're out of power. I'm sure you guys all remember that. Then one Saturday, we had to sit the team down and have a very heartfelt conversation. I basically told everyone, I was like, listen, none of you guys signed up for this except for the design needs and us the members. The hurdles that we would have to jump through this season building hard are going to be like unlike any other. And I gave them the choice. Like, if you didn't sign up for this and you want to leave, there's no fault at all. I won't blame you for walking out. I understand. Or, if you want to really far, we're going to all put our heads down, work extremely hard, and fight like we've never fight before. You get this started up. And no one left. Not a single person. And that was the moment that everything changed. From that point forward, the team didn't just grind, they owned it. Every person took full responsibility for their subsystem, and believe me, we didn't take ownership lightly. It even turned into a bit of an inside joke with the words, when you own your subsystem, you're expected to know it inside and out, and not have to go through the alumni from 5 years ago to find out the answer. That level of accountability and personal pride is exactly what pushed us through. Some weeks we had access to equipment, other weeks we didn't. Sometimes we didn't even know where we would be welding the next day. But every time the door slammed shut, someone kicked it open again. And we didn't do it alone. When things were darkest, EMR suspension stepped up. They didn't just machine laser cutter parts, they sacrificed part of their production space and gave Bulls Racing a home. Without EMR suspension, there would be no F-25, and we are forever grateful. Someone recently asked me, with everything stacked against you, how did Bulls Racing still make it happen? And the answer was simple. It was the team. Every late night, every weekend sacrifice, every ounce of creativity, stubbornness, and grit, it was the team. Many of the people, and it wasn't just about building a car, it was about building engineers. Many of the people who started this journey hadn't designed a single part before the season. Today, they are engineers who know what it means to design, build, and own every bolt and bracket on a real race car. F-25 isn't just the result of a year's worth of work. F-25 is the result of a team that refused to quit and became engineers in the process. Thank you all for being a part of this journey. And now, without further ado, I present to you Bulls Racing's F-25. hard. And like anyone that knows me, I have extremely high expectations for myself and everyone else. And you guys are exceeded everything. But yes. Thank you.
Tell him to keep it on there. He doesn't. Can you put?
You know what? I'm really glad I stopped right in front of Mr. and Mrs. BMR, so I'm very happy to have great sports.
Hello, everyone. I am Raul Quintana. I am your grades design lead. And yesterday, when I was thinking about how to start my speech, I wasn't really sure. So naturally, I did what any responsible engineer would do. I asked ChatGPT. So if this goes well, I'm a genius. But if it doesn't, well, at least artificial intelligence is still learning. Brakes. You normally think of them as a pedal that slows you down when you see a cop parked on Fletcher Avenue. But what if I tell you you can actually improve lap times, take corner facers, control pressure distribution between front and rear brakes? This year, our design focused on 3 key improvements: achieving a consistent brake pedal feel, improving serviceability, and reducing rotor temperatures. One of the most impactful changes that the team has thanked me for is including dry brake quick disconnects on the lines and master cylinders. This has allowed us to minimize the bleeding process by over an hour every time the brakes needed to be removed for a suspension alignment or any other process that when you remove the calipers from the chassis. This improvement has allowed us to have better seals and no leaks since the car first showed back in February. That means a lot to brakes because we basically minimize the downtime that other subsystems have. So thank you, team, for your hard work. It means a lot to say that and to see no puddles under the car every time we move it. Temperature management is critical in braking systems. Brake fade happens when excessive heat reduces braking effectiveness, leading to longer stopping distances and less control. Thanks to the new path selection we've made this year, we've been able to sustain optimal brake performance even at peak temperatures during endurance practices, lowering brake temps by an average of 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Just in comparison, last year we were reaching over 1,000 or 1,100 degrees Fahrenheit, and the middle of the day is hot Florida sun. And now we've been able to lower that to about 850 and maintain the difference between front and rear by about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So knowing how to basically estimate or know how your subsystem is gonna work is great for us because we actually know that we're measuring it properly. Brakes play a crucial role in improving lap times by allowing drivers to slow down efficiently, maintaining speed through corners, and accelerate faster upon exiting. By adjusting the bias, our drivers can maximize traction stability, leading to better stopping distances and more predictable handling. We have been able to consistently maintain a front bias of 70%, giving our drivers the confidence to push harder during dynamic test sessions. Now, I would like to thank you, my grade members. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Seth. Thank you, Guillermo. Thank you, Sabir. who have helped throughout the challenges that the club has faced during these last 2 semesters. Thank you for your incredible work ethic, consistency, and friendship. You guys make part of the best subsystem in this club. Yeah, you heard me right, Ricardo. Best. Great. Lastly, I'd like to thank my family, mom, dad, grandma, sister. Can you stand up, please? They just drove 4 hours from Miami and they brought me food, and that's the first thing I ate today. So thank you. Thank you for always supporting me. Well, Dad, why don't you sit down? I'm not done. Thank you for always supporting me, for always answering the phone when I call at night. Thank you for guiding me and pushing to follow my dream. Thank you, Dad, for getting me a Jeep that I've learned a lot of lessons with. Thank you, Mom, for reminding me of how it feels to be home when you cook food for me. Thank you, sister, for having someone to laugh during the middle of the day. Gracias. Te quiero mucho. Te amo. I would also like to thank every friendship that I made along the way this scene. This card has all of your names written on it. I see everybody's faces, and it's incredible to see it roll in and stay in one piece. Now, I'll hand off the mic to our chassis lead, Benjamin Rosazo.
Hi everyone, my name is Ben. I'm the chassis design lead this year. To tell you a little bit about the chassis, in simple words, it's the frame. It's the foundation of the car. It's just like your chassis on the car that you drove here today with. It holds the driver in place. It accounts for all the forces that are going to be that are generated as a cause of driving, the heavy cornering and braking, very fast driving that our drivers are very capable of. So I'd like to start off with like a quick fun fact that I learned this year that I think is relevant. For those of you that were in the state this year, you know that we've gone through 2 hurricanes this year. And my favorite tree, the bald cypress tree, it's very random, but over time, the bald cypress tree actually gets stronger as it goes through storms because the stress generated by it inevitably hardened the bark of the tree, and it makes it more resistant to storms. And I think that that's relevant to our team this year because of all the hardships that we've gone through, including 2 hurricanes. Some people have forgotten about that because it really feels like forever ago. But including 2 hurricanes, the loss of our shop, not to mention there was also some slight issues with the chassis this year that involved us cutting it open and then rewelding it, which was really fun to deal with. That leads me into my next point, which is that we have, especially in the chassis subsystem, some thank yous to make. First people to thank immediately are obviously DMR suspension. Not only did they lend us their space, they also lent us vast amounts of materials, which we're extremely grateful for, and also for the general assistance with your employees in DMR. They helped us out a lot. Your welders, your machinists, all of them were extremely helpful. So thank you for supporting our educational pursuits. Next 2 people I'd like to thank for chassis are my friend Reese Ulmer and Kenny Garrell. Kenny is one of this year's drivers. He's also our welder, and he's a junior engineer, and this doesn't even come close to all the things that Kenny is. But if I were to sum him up in one word, it would be that he is an incredible friend. He's been an incredible friend across many years, and he is someone that will instill you with the confidence that you need to push yourself farther than you've ever done before. And the same goes for Reese as well. I'm very appreciative of him for all of the lessons that he taught me in preparing me to be chassis lead. So thank you both for your continued support. The last people I'd like to thank today are any USF professors that might be in the audience. For those of you that have made a contribution to our education in some way and have helped us learn a lesson that we've been able to put on this card, we're eternally grateful for you. Thank you very much. Priyanka? Yeah. I'd like to introduce Priyanka Sharma, our composite state.
Hello, I'm Priyanka Sharma. I am Post Racing's composites design lead. First off, I'll have to be completely transparent. I haven't made a speech, but the reason of that is we have been working so hard this season, and it's just amazing to see all these elements that actually made it onto the car. I would say even today, we did not leave the shop until morning, and we were there the entire 24 hours. So it was crazy to see the car fill in and all the carbon elements that are on the car. It really couldn't have been possible without such an amazing team. I would say this year, our biggest accomplishment was how fast we were able to produce these pieces. And the biggest change were the amount of hands that we were able to have. Previous season, composites was much smaller, but thanks to just so many more people coming in, all these hands, I'm so grateful for all the help that I get. I'm blanking. I'm running on no sleep, guys. But yeah, that's it. Thank you. Our lovely drivetrain lead, Will Ramos.
I just want to point out here that all of composites, especially Priyanka and Lawrence and everyone who's helped them out, they deserve the biggest round of applause because they have the hardest job on this team. They work from 9 to 5, they work from 5 to 9. It is not an easy job. Never take over for them, but we truly appreciate them. They are the best. As you know, I'm William, drivetrain lead, and our job is simply just to get all the power that powertrain produces and making sure that this girl curls and this girl runs hard. I'd really like to give a special shout out to Joseph, Dana, and Dante, and Olivia. All of them done a phenomenal job as powertrain, and it doesn't matter how well I do my job, if that girl don't run, that girl ain't turning at all. So, biggest accomplishments this year. Biggest thing for us is shifting. As a team makeup, the past 2-3 years we've had a lucky trend on shifting, cooking out during competition. But because of Ray's expertise, Matt's expertise, we've done a phenomenal job at giving us more testing time, and I promise you we need it. Every single time this car rolls, there is something else going on with the shifting system. So I would like to do a round of applause for them especially. Special shout out to Ray Burge, especially because without him, all those machine components that I operate ain't going on that car. Especially electrical, I work very closely with him. I like to joke that he is powertrain lead, drivetrain lead, electrical lead. He's pretty much touched every aspect of this car, and without him, this car ain't running either. This team especially, from someone that unfortunately spent the entire year mostly by myself, this team has helped me out a lot. Without them, drivetrain would be struggling a lot more. Every single month, every single part of the season, someone else has stepped up. I want to shout out Khan, because without Khan, design would have been horrendous. He helped me out in a big way. I want to shout out Chadle, doing all the mundane things that no one else wants to do when I'm not available. And I especially want to shout out Leo. Leo has been very stable in the last 3 weeks, showing up every weekend, absolutely pivotal, absolutely interested in getting this car to run. Without them, this car ain't running. Anyways, now, I'd like to thank all Africa, all the thanks out. I'm going to introduce my favorite Motec certified electrical lead, Ricardo.
Thank you, Will, and you're welcome for rebuilding your differential. Hello, everyone. My name is Ricardo D'Ambrosio, and I'm the electrical lead for the 2025 season. As the electrical lead, I work with other subsystems to integrate their sensors and general electrical needs. This past year, we set ourselves a goal to maximize the reliability of our car's electrical systems. With our ambitious manufacturing and testing timeline, maximizing how much data we could collect was of paramount importance. To meet these goals, we made sweeping changes for power delivery methods, as well as modified the way we manufacture our electrical harness. F25 is our first car to use a digital power delivery method in the form of a ECU Master power management unit. Additionally, we minimize harness failures by utilizing all the proper tooling when building our systems. This allowed us to push our car to limits we have never seen in the past. And despite the struggles we faced this season, the over 100 miles we have put on F25, I am very proud to say that we have experienced very minimal electrical failures. And the reliable data collection has allowed us to better inform our design decisions for F25 and so on. The future of Bulls Racing is looking bright. Electrical improvements this season have formed the foundation for future advancements, such as electronic throttle control and research into EV. And none of this would have been possible without our sponsors. I would first like to thank Rapid Harness for providing us the software that we use to design our harness, Motec USA for providing us with discounted components and software, and Christopher Mausel from Limo, for supplying us with their incredible connectors and tooling. I would also like to give a very heartfelt thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Miller and everyone at BMR Suspension that helped in making this car possible. And finally, I would like to thank my mom for being with me today. I love you, Mom. I truly believe we have a top 10 car in our hands, and I cannot wait to showcase its abilities in Michigan in a couple weeks. And now, I'll pass the torch to our beautiful ergonomics lead, Lawrence. Thank you.
That's all I have to say. Thank you, guys.
Is this? Hi, my name is Kevin Irving, and I'm this season's machine lead. My job is to take the 3D models that each individual subsystem creates and help them design their part for the ability to be manufactured. My job is also to run most of our CNC machines that we have in the DFX lab alongside our chief engineer, Ray Burge, who's taught me a lot of how to work with expensive tools and hopefully not break them. On this year's car, I had the opportunity to work with the ergonomics team, which you can see a few of the components inside the cockpit of the car, like the steering wheel and the dash. And I also had the opportunity to work with members of the powertrain team developing the intake flanges for this year's new engine. One of the biggest accomplishments for my subsystem, well, me, because I don't have anybody, was creating a new undertray mold for this season's car. In the past, we have had struggles with having one operation to create an entire mold. If you guys don't know, carbon fiber doesn't come pre-shaped. It is our job to create the shape that we want the carbon fiber to turn into, and then it becomes my job to make that shape. We went from a one-piece mold to 6 individual pieces that were then fused together to create one larger mold. At the end of the manufacturing process, the undertray mold turned out exactly how we wanted it to, and met all of our specified criteria for this season's car, and I'm very excited to see how it's going to perform for the very first time. Lastly, I'd like to thank all the subsystems that I've had the opportunity to work with. I've had the opportunity to jump around with quite a few of you guys, and also had quite a few late nights in the DFX lab waiting on files. However, each and every one of you has taught me a different way of looking at a solution, and there's more than one way to create a part. I'd also like to thank Carrie for letting me hijack all of your machines for a lot of late nights. I hope I return them to you in one piece. And I also owe a massive thank you and a very large apology to my girlfriend, who I have told her I shouldn't stay too late tonight. About 3 o'clock in the morning. I'd also like to thank my family for always putting up with me, no matter how many ridiculous phone calls I give them. It would always be followed by, we love you and be safe. And I hope you guys are proud of everything that I've accomplished. Thank you.
Hello, y'all. My name is Dante. I'm a third-year member, second year powertrain design lead, so I've been here for a little bit. Sorry if I seem a little out of it. I was up alongside with Unveil Lawrence trying to finish the package. Every part that they finished then got handed to me. So I took care of all of them. A bit about powertrain. So this year on this year's vehicle, we've actually managed to improve the radiator efficiency by about 31% compared to the previous years, while keeping the same form factor, which is very impressive. In addition to that, we've also managed to shave about 2.5 pounds just by using lighter fixturing to hold in the radiator, as well as keeping it in the same area. Space on the car. With some recent full endurance data that we just collected about 2-3 weeks ago, So in addition to powertrain, I also do delivery. So this year, it was just me taking care of all of this. In previous years, it was me, Connor Capper, and Chris Holmer. So it was difficult. It was a lot to do. Compared to that car, this design, I would say it's a bit more complex, a lot more pieces, a lot more parts. Some good things we tried for delivery this year, we tried some printed graphics. So you can see the front end plates are little American flags with the stars leaning forward. On the rear wing, we have some full logos that we use. And yeah, some people I want to thank is thank you Prime, first off, for having such a quick turnaround for all these parts. Being able to cut the same day, getting graphics cut, short lead times. I'd like to thank VMR for having an awesome workspace during our running and driving car deadlines. That was incredible with everything going on in our situation on campus. I'd like to thank alumni for answering all of our silly questions that we have. Some of them are pretty silly questions, but we need a yes or no sometimes. So I'd like to thank my fellow design leads for always putting up with my requests, putting up with me wanting to go through all their stuff and organize all their stuff, make sure they know where it is. I'd like to do a special thank you to my powertrain team, everybody I work with on a daily basis. I'm very grateful for y'all, and just having you guys around. Yeah. So with that, I'd like to introduce my fellow design lead and our resident Porsche 944 owner, Joseph Shearer.
Hello everyone, I'm Joseph. I'm also a powertrain lead. I set out this season as the intake and exhaust lead, and as the season has gone on, that has kind of grown into everything that Dante doesn't do. It's a lot. Powertrain is a very large subsystem. We have a lot of inner workings going on. This season we were actually able to get a lot more testing time than any other season in the past, so we've really been able to hone in the calibration of our power plant. To the point where we're now getting 10% better fuel economy than last season, and almost 40% better fuel economy than 2022. And while those gains are seemingly not important for a race car, for us it's very important because that's one of the scoring metrics that's going to be used when we go to Michigan. The oiling system on this car is a carryover from past seasons, but further optimized. The exhaust system, as well as primarily a carryover. Really, this car is just a development from our former cars in terms of just losing weight where we can, optimizing performance, and really honing in the entire power plant. Some of the people I'd like to thank for kind of helping with all of this is Calvin. He's been a really big help supporting me. I'm a big Calvin, stand up. Go stand up. Probably about 50% of everything I know about powertrain. He laid the groundworks for the use of the stock engine our built engine in 2023, and he's helped me a lot with the calibration and tuning of this car specifically. So he's been a huge help. Him along with the former powertrain lead, William, absolutely great people. The entire powertrain team this year has also been a great help. Dante's been frustrating to work with sometimes, but most of the time he's pretty good. And I'm a little tired. I'm not as tired as everyone else, but I'm a little tired. But anyway, I would also like to thank our electrical lead, Ricardo, for helping me set up Motec. No, Braulio, you don't get any thanks. You haven't helped me with anything. I helped you with logs. He's been a huge help setting up the Motec system, as well as taking over some of the tuning responsibilities when I'm not available. suspension lead, Connor Ferris, my absolute favorite suspension lead that I'll ever get to work with.
Hey guys, I'm Connor Ferris. I'm the acting suspension lead for the F25 Formula season. So as you guys have heard from a lot of other people, this has been quite the year, right? As a result, my role ended up taking a lot more time management and parts manufacturing outsourcing than I would have liked. But yeah, so rewriting the process to make the car from scratch using different methods, locations, and professional personnel to shout out was quite the task, I would say. I'm used to making it myself. This situation has taught me a lot on how to collaborate in a professional environment, using advanced manufacturing methods and other resources. And I know the rest of the team had to do the same. But despite this, some amazing things happened this year. Not only did we persevere and still manage to put down another car ahead of our usually yearly schedule, but we actually managed to have 2 running cars at the same time, which is a feat we've never seen before in Bulls racing. So that's commemorative. So if that doesn't speak to the dedication this team has, I don't know what will. I'm proud of every person here today representing Bulls racing. What we've done this year is something to be immensely proud of, so hats off to you guys. So with my little rant aside, let's discuss suspension a little bit. So on our current setup, we run a double wishbone cantilever independent suspension on Goodyear 16-inch tires that are comprised of the R20 compound. And yeah, our focus this year was a little less on the hardware, it was a little bit more on the data acquisition side of things. So we focused on things like actually having reliable wheel speed sensors, cuffed up Ricardo. And we have a steering position sensor in there now. I'm currently working on strain gauges, it's coming, Ray, don't worry, I got you. And yeah, just other stuff like that. So what exactly is our purpose on suspension? Our job is to take the car's direction of travel and point it somewhere else, preferably as fast as possible, in a nutshell. Of course, there's a lot of other stuff that we have to take care of in the process to make that happen. There's a lot of hours spent in CAD, there's a lot of setup stuff. There's a ridiculous amount of tires I have to change, way more than I would have liked. Along with some leaks, which I didn't love, but it comes with the territory. So outside of that, and outside of all the late nights we just spent, what made that happen is the strong team we have behind us. Every single person on this team, the dedication you've shown this year is something to be immensely proud of. I'm proud of every single one of you. So, as you guys have heard a million times, thank you BMR. Without you guys, we would be so underwater. This year is unbelievable. You guys are easily our biggest saving grace, so thank you. Big shout out Mark on BMR too. I sent you tabs way too many times. Sorry about that. Thank you to the entire suspension team for having my back. I know there's a lot of you, so if I skip a name, I'm sorry. But thank you, Ben Murphy, Justin Hain, Chase Cow, Spencer Fritz, Vincent Lucena, anybody else who I'm missing, I'm sorry, there's a lot of you. Thank you to our keyboard for keeping us on track too. I know your jobs specifically were tough this year, but I would rather have nobody above me, honestly. Like you guys held it together the entire time and just kept us on track. And you guys, we finished the car early, boys. That's huge. I'm proud of you guys. Thank you to Sun Hydraulics for all the CNC work. Thank you for Matt over at Purdue University for making the hubs for us. I don't know if you're here watching this. And thank you for every other sponsor for believing us and funding all of our endeavors. Thanks for giving me one hell of a last season, guys. I'll be around. I love you guys. All right, so with that being said, I'd like to hand it over to the other resident hunk on the team, Kenneth Durrell.
Might be a little biased, but I think we have the best looking car this year. Hello everyone, my name is Kenneth. I am the team's lead welder in charge of building the chassis as well as all the wire metal will be melted together. First off, I want to say thank you to Alan, Grant, Ray, Matt, and Giovanni, as well as the rest of the Bulls Racing team. You guys did this. You guys put this car together. None of this would be here without any of you guys. Great job. I want to also thank BMR for saving our team, allowing us to build our car and a shot. We are endlessly thankful for that. Thank you. And lastly, I want to especially thank my wonderful, beautiful, and lovely wife, Megan, for putting up with the years and years of late nights and long days where, like Kevin said, I would be home soon, and then 8 hours later I came home, and you were asleep. I am not an official design lead. I am not e-board. I'm just an old guy that knows how to weld. I decided to start my engineering career at the age of 29 because I wanted something more in my life. I'm a Navy veteran of 8 years. I've deployed twice. I deployed twice overseas, and to keep it as PG as I can, I never hit boots on the ground, but the ocean is not as fun either. During that time, I came into a family that I never expected, and my fellow veterans can also understand that the friendships and relationships that you attain while on deployment cannot be matched in the real world. It's when you're in the ship together, you have probably what's called a trauma bond, but that's okay. And in the real world, that's something you just don't come across. But after this year, working tirelessly with these young men and women over here, I believe I found what is the closest that can come to having that kind of bond again. And it has been a wonderful time the last 3 years working with this team. Ladies and gentlemen, this small group of determined engineers had one goal: build the best race car possible. They succeeded. Thank you. Last but not least, we have our vehicle dynamics lead, Ken.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kang, and I have the absolute honor of closing the design lead presentations out tonight, because apparently the best way to celebrate mechanical excellence is to pass the mic to a computer science major. My story with Bulls Racing began sophomore year. I bumped into Matthew. This guy was just blabbing about on his racing career, and I was like, oh, this guy's kind of smart. Let me see what this guy's doing. The first time I stepped into the shop, everybody was just yelling. I've never seen anything like it. But at the same time, the passion was all there. It was so visceral. And yeah, this whole team was just crowding. And when the team captain offered me to become the vehicle dynamics or data acquisition lead, I jumped at the opportunity. So this semester at Bulls Racing has been somewhat of a roller coaster. I actually got fired from the DAC team, and then got rehired as vehicle dynamics lead 5 minutes later. My main role is just to let other design leads of the group know what problems are there with the car. If it's too hot, if it's sliding too much, when it's going too fast or if it's all good, I'm the one to make sure that they know that. Over the past year though, my job as a sanity checker was very uneventful, mainly because everybody here was so thorough with what they do that we had next to zero problems. I guess thank you, Ray, for that. You've been the cornerstone. You've been keeping everything under control. That was so good. Thank you so much. But that opened the door for something better for the vehicle dynamics team. So firstly, we now run an entire enterprise-grade server just for our Aero Lead Con to live his life running sims. We have a real test bed for sensors now, courtesy of Blackjack. Thank you guys that let us validate and iterate our sensors so much faster than ever. And our database of logs are now just top-notch. It's clean. Nobody has any issues finding logs anymore, so I'll count that as a win. Yeah, I'm still working every day to improve our setup. Our data is still very dirty, very incomplete, but I think that's what the joy is. I really enjoy kind of piecing everything together to make a complete picture for our other design leads.
I guess there was another surprise I planned, but it fell through. We have a new website. You guys will be the first to see it. I'm super excited for that. But compared to the actual blood, sweat, and actual welding burdens that these guys have, my work is more like finger painting. But at the end of the day, racing is a game of seconds, and good data makes the car go fast. So I'm happy to be part of the bigger picture. Yeah, Bulls Racing isn't just a team of engineers. It's a family of people who are too stubborn to give up when it gets hard. And I think that's something worth celebrating tonight, along with this amazing machine we're unveiling. And lastly, I just want to give a special thank you to my girlfriend up there. Thank you for putting up with me, going home late to like 1, 2, maybe 4. And Ahmed, Dev, and especially the team captain Matthew for always pushing me to do better. And above all, thank you to every single one of you guys for putting in all the work, bringing this car to life, trusting me with all the data acquisition stuff, even though Ricardo and Joseph disagrees. Yeah, our trade train lead told me, you might not have contributed much to the team, but now 30 extra faces to say hi to around campus. And so that, I'm forever grateful. It's been one hell of a ride, and I would not trade for everything. Thank you. I would like to welcome our beautiful everything engineer, Khan, to the stage.
Hello, my name is Khan Ho, and I'm the aerodynamics lead. I'd like to give a special shout out to Brad and Katie for letting us use this event center. And I'll also like to thank the garage owners for donating money for our catering that we'll have later. I would like to give a lot of thank yous. First of all, thank you, Priyanka, for letting me, man. I'd like to thank Priyanka for letting me join her subsystem when I first joined this club. She took me under her wing, and I got to learn a lot of composites. And thanks to her, we did have an aero package in the car, which is a huge accomplishment. I'm also sleepy too, because I also spent a late night here too. I also like to thank Lawrence, honestly, for also helping out with all the manufacturing for aero. I'll also like to thank Kevin, our machining lead, because he would spend countless hours machining all the molds, and without him, we wouldn't even have the aero package either. I'll also like to thank Dante for putting up with aero for our manufacturing timeline. He got to let us have a pretty sick looking car. And I'll also like to thank alumni too for helping me, for teaching me everything, such as Nathan, previous air lead, he was very helpful. Ben Benito, also previous air lead. And sponsors I'd like to thank is Temple Bay Steel for cutting out trusses, also BMR for also laser cutting our trusses too, for redesigns for it. And yeah, alright, thank you very much.
A yearly tradition is to give awards and certificates to our junior engineers and our design leads. You just heard from all the design leads that are people managing their subsystems. Junior engineers are people who have been consistently showing up to the shop, putting in effort, people who have shown to have the great determination to be on this team. We get a lot of people who come in, maybe you can work really hard for a week or two, but then you never see their face again. But these are not those people. These are the people who we can count on, rely on, who are there at the same hours, 3, 4 a.m., and they're still helping us make the car run. So, without further ado, we have like 20 more of these than last year, and we're very late on time. And I'm sorry if I butchered your last names. I do not see most of y'all's last names. First year engineer, Adrian Cordova. Please come to the stage. engineer Justin Hain from suspension. Exterior engineer Kenneth Worrell from Weldon. Next is Ivy Kevin Irby from machining. Next is Ivy Tom Lowe from aerodynamics. Next is Ivy Ken Lee from vehicle dynamics, formerly DAC. My fellow comp site commander. Next is Ivy Lawrence McCauley. Aeronautics. Chief engineer Matt Seidel, aerodynamics and designs. Next engineer Ethan Crusoe, ergonomics as well as ergonomics. Next engineer Olivia Betterhoff from powertrain. SGE Moria from Aero. but not least, Ray Bird, Chief Engineer. And no one saw this one coming.
So what do y'all think? Pretty cool, huh? I wrote this speech over there. I kind of forgot I was supposed to do it this morning, but the artist thing got to me. Anyways, if you ask me what y'all just saw, it's about as accurate as it gets for a typical day here at Bulls Racing. 1 minute we're crashing, trying to fix some last minute gremlins, and next thing you know, she's running smooth as butter. Gerardo from TME pulled me aside and said, hey man, our rule is everything should be buttoned up 15 minutes before kickoff, and it's already 1:30, man. Y'all got some work to do. Well, guess what? We rallied, we hustled, and by golly, we made it. Folks, that's just another day at Bulls Racing. Heck, you can ask my mom. She'll shoot me a text at 2, 3, 4, 5 a.m. after checking my Find My location, wondering why I'm sitting in the middle of a parking lot. Before we wrap things up, let's give another big old round of applause to Brad and Katie, CEO of North Enclave, for letting us use their beautiful event center back there. For those of y'all who have been with us for a few years now, you might remember we used to squeeze in this little car museum in St. Pete. Well, Bulls Racing keeps growing, and we ran out of room. So now we're here, and thanks to Brad, Katie, and the entire Motor Enclave family, we finally have a place big enough and definitely, I'd say fancy enough, to hold us all. So we truly can't thank y'all enough for opening the door to us. Now for a quick housekeeping note. Please don't get into the car. It's still under development. Not discussing it now. Snap away. In just a bit, we're going to dig into some delicious food from Puff and Stuff Catering, generously provided by the Motor Enclave garage owners. Make sure to stop by and grab yourself some Bulls Racing merch over there. We got a few leftover shirts and hats for $10 a piece. It's the best deal we got in town. They're from last season, but unfortunately, new t-shirts quite didn't make it in time for Unveil, but hey, if that's the worst thing that happened today, I'll take it. Yeah, and if you all want to take a try at the track, not that track, the sim units over there. The Motor Enclave's got a simulator unit set up, or actually 2 of them. I reckon you probably saw Grant hogging them earlier before the ceremony got started. Is that right? All right, folks, that's all I got for you. Let's hear it one more time for Bulls Racing, please. Now we're just going to take our team photos, so I ask all media to please come over here. We've got a camera. Everyone else, please stay put. We'll wait for you, I promise. But that's really all I got for you all. Thank you for being here, and go Bulls, I guess. I don't know.